allez dans la cour. S'il vous plaît, allez dans la cour.
You're welcome to Say Less. Once again, my name is Chris PK. I'm doing this with...
And I'm Ohenobadu Dean.
Chief Andrew, what's up?
Chairman, I do. What be that?
Everything be cool.
Everything cool.
And your ring, it be titanium or it be tungsten or like it be...
I don't know. I wear them proudly, man.
Calvin,
Kusi.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Charlie, with your ring, they look alike.
Yeah. China,
Is it also from
The middle, I think
thing?
it's just a way of trying to move away from
the regular,
So I think
Charlie. So on today's conversation, basically what we are coming to do is talk about the cost of weddings. I'm sure you've seen their rings. See, let me just give you this. Yesterday, preparing for today, I went on some pages when I check out prices of rings and things, bro. The kind of rings I'm seeing, lowest price. 3K and above. I don't lie you.
not CDs.
No. 3K and above. The rings they are wearing, 3K and above. So that is for the man. Then the woman will come inside. So already you hit 6K or more, right?
Yeah.
You near 10K that.
Yeah.
For just rings. We are discussing this and more today on Say Less. Don't forget to click the subscribe button. Also click on the bell notification icon. So whenever we drop a new episode, you'll be the first to see it and contribute to the show. Now let's get into the conversation. Generally, over the years we've had people do weddings. It was quite simple. Even back we read the Bible, Jesus went to a wedding ceremony, one or two, just something small.
Yeah.
But that is not what we see today. Why, Calvin?
Okay, starting from the oldest.
Yeah.
But I'm actually the youngest.
Really? Here?
Yeah.
Where? The youngest where? In this setting.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, sure. In this setting.
In this setting, you are the oldest.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have it.
Yeah.
I think when you look at the world in general, there's been that shift from how we used to do things 10 years ago and then today.
Yeah.
And so basically, if you want to have a wedding now, you want to look at how weddings were being organized 10 years ago and then now. You want to use all the technology, all the fashionable stuff. You want to make your wedding like a talk of the town. You want to make sure that you are putting some form of respect on your wife.
Yeah.
And so for me, I don't really see anything wrong with like spending on weddings.
Really?
But you see, you must spend wisely.
Okay.
You get it. And so I have two sides of the story. Like it is worth spending on weddings depending on your wealth.
Right.
So you look at your wealth and then you spend according to what you have.
Right.
Okay.
So basically, if you have a 200,000 Ghana cedis in your account and you decide to spend 100,000 on your weddings, for me, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Okay.
But if you have...
That's half of everything you have.
Yeah.
Exactly.
On wedding.
Wedding.
One day.
One day.
One day, yeah. It's not even up to a day.
Some hours.
Some hours.
You see, I think we are only looking at the wedding as a short ceremony.
Okay.
But it's a ceremony that comes once in your lifetime.
Yeah.
Okay.
So even though it is for a short while, it is for your life. You won't come back 10 years and say, I want to do a new wedding. Unless
don't do a renewal.
No, that's
People do renewal vows and stuff like that.
And you see, that is not as exciting as getting fresh.
Oh,
like,
I get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You understand?
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I think-
So the experience is just two different.
Yeah, I think that we are where we are because of peer pressure.
Yeah.
to social media.
Okay.
It's social media influences a lot of things, a lot. Yeah. Because trust me, look, if you go to our traditional setting, really, wedding is a meeting between two families.
Absolutely.
Bring drinks, pay some amount, pay, some dowry, bring a couple of stuff, and that's it. We're done.
Yeah.
You understand? That's it. We're done. Even now, that has been elevated to a very huge level where even up to that, the sort of fanfare that it comes with and all those, even the traditional settings that it comes with, all of it is influenced by social media and the individuals involved.
Okay.
Really, we can decide that we don't want all of that. We can decide that we just want to do a simple setting and all that. And nobody don't owe anybody any explanation.
Yeah.
I've done it. And so what? Oh, I was expecting it to look like this, and now the hashtags and all of that, and it becomes a talk of town and all of that. But it all boils down to the two of you, which is heavily influenced or otherwise by social media.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it also depends on your pocket. Like you said, if you have 200,000 CDs and you want to use 100,000 to show you love to the person that you love, really, the person deserves it. But at the end of the day, you ask yourself, after 100,000 blown in hours, you have the rest of that's like day one of the rest of your lives left to live, and whatever you do after that day one is actually what counts and not that one day. Otherwise, people say that you did that flashy wedding and then what happened to the marriage?
But some will argue that because it's a one-time event,
yes,
right?
Why not spend,
and mostly we've heard this thing about the wedding, is for the woman,
yes,
right? For someone you love so much, the emotional value you are putting on such a day for this person, wouldn't it be worth it to say I'm sacrificing 50% of everything I have?
Forget.
Really?
You will not side with that?
Listen. They will tell you say the wedding is for the woman. You will go heaven and earth, do all of that. And when you finish and you don't have what it takes to take care of the woman, the headache on top of your head will be bigger than what you will get if you didn't do the kind of wedding expected, which after that you still be able to take it. You get what I'm saying? So don't be fooled by all that. Trust me. Look, you need to develop some kind of audition because it comes on top of your head. Oh, let's do this. Let's have this. Let's do this. For instance, when it comes to this, I'm the freshest in this. So I remember these things very well. We're talking now the decor person was like, there was a chair that you have to sit on to do videos. And I'm like, they will have to rent it for 600 Ghana cedis. Rent the chair for 600. I'm like, is she going to give it to us so we take it home? And they said, no, you have to sit on it and take pictures and videos, and after that we are done.
For some minutes.
I'm like, babe, after this thing we are buying our own chair. We're also renting out to people, and because these things, you see, if you follow a lot of these things, I'm not saying that it's not worth it. Eventually we'll come to that.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that if you're not careful, you take that, she deserves it. Trust me, everybody who you decide to do this with actually deserves everything you are doing for the person and more.
Great.
But if you say that I'm going to blow everything on this person, trust me, you will do something, and when you finish, it will be nice. For the glam, it will be nice. For the pictures, the snaps, and all of that, people will come and eat on top of your budget and everything, have fun and do all the formation.
Definitely, they go tell you say your job definitely.
Definitely tell you somebody says sometimes somebody's having stomach go around. You tell you say because but at the end of the day, the following day, the following week, when your eye clear, then you realize that this is the deal.
Oh.
You see, from the first instance where I said if you have 200,000 and you are spending 100,000, now you ask yourself, if both of you are coming to stay together, how much are you going to spend in a month? You see, the 200,000 is not like the very last
money you are going
to have after the wedding.
I understand.
Probably both of you are working. That money was set aside maybe in an investment somewhere. And then you have some savings you are using for your daily stuff. And so it all depends on what you have as your total wealth. So it's not just about how much you have in your account. Now, if you are single and you are spending 3,000 Ghana cedis in a month, now, when you get married, there are two things. It's either you outweigh the 3,000 Ghana cedis you are spending alone, or you end up spending less.
Yeah.
If you are having a job that you leave the house around 8 a.m. or you leave 7 a.m., you come back like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Trust me, if you're a single man, you will not have the time or the luxury of time to be cooking and all that. And so your expenses is going to like shoot up. Now, when you have a woman by your side, probably by the time you wake up, there's breakfast for you already. You understand? So you don't need to go and spend that
Is it the
50 Ghana cedis, 100 Ghana
or the
cedis.
kitchen one? Is it the breakfast in bed or the breakfast?
Breakfast happens everywhere, even in the bathroom. Just continue.
Thank you. So you see, like you end up not spending that 50, 100 Ghana cedis on breakfast, then on lunch, then on supper. So when you get married, you see, when the two parties come together, it depends on how you are going to structure yourself. You still have the 100,000 Ghana cedis in your account on your investment, and you are still getting money from your daily work. And then you are saving some money as well. So it's not all about spending and then after the marriage, you are coming back to rely on the 100,000 Ghana cedis you have.
I get you.
So it depends on the two parties. You sit down. This is how much we want to spend in a month. I am getting 5,000 Ghana cedis. I'm getting 6,000 Ghana cedis as salary. You, the woman, you are getting 4,000. You are getting 5,000. Probably even more than me, the man. So let's put our heads together. Okay, let's spend 3,000 Ghana cedis monthly, and then let's use this amount for this, and let's use this amount for
I like the
for
fact
me
that you were hinting on the consent where the two of you sit down.
both of you are becoming one. That's what they usually
You normally
say.
see the 50-50 rule applied in wedding where the woman will take 50% of the cost.
No.
Can't it happen?
No.
I don't think it can ever happen.
What changes it?
No. You see, this is the thing. Where the 50-50 is defined as what? Looking at the cost of the wedding. Look, let's take our traditional setting alone. You go for a list. You go and tell the girl's father, the lady's father, that I want to marry your daughter, and they give you a list. Well, sometimes you can have a conversation and look at some of the items on the list and say, look, you already have slippers, you already have new shoes that you don't wear. Let's package them and present them. You already have certain things that you don't use. But look, 80 to 90% of the things are still on your head. I remember my dad telling my wife to be at that time that there are some things that don't help him do it. Even if he's struggling, watch him, he'll do it. You understand? Yeah, he said it in my presence. My dad, no, they fear me. He said it in my presence.
Wow.
Yes, he said it.
So generally what I'm hearing is, as I'm sitting here, I have to start preparing and understand that the economic pressure to finance the wedding solely lies on you.
Not solely. Yeah. So this is it. There are certain things that lies on you. There are other elements, like say, for instance, the refreshment. Those things you can talk about. Refreshments, maybe decor, other things, other peripherals you can talk about. But when it comes to certain elements, like on the paper, bro, it's you.
But that tells me. So I did a bit of reading, right? I'd spoken to, that was 2 years ago actually. I've spoken to event planners, photographers about the cost of weddings.
Yes.
Basically, this is not for an Instagram-friendly wedding. This is, regular kind of wedding.
Yes.
You are hitting almost 100K.
yes.
The one that is not for Instagram.
It's
not for it. This is basic.
This is basic. 100? Basic wedding.
Yeah.
You're hitting almost 100K.
I see.
The element of the 100K, which actually are like the major part of the budget, is what he was talking about. Your decor, your photography, videography, catering,
refreshments, catering and all that. Yes.
So if this is the major part of the budget, why do we still see men complaining about the cost of weddings where they spend a lot? Because this is where you are saying this part of the wedding, which is the major part, we can have conversations with our women and actually have them help us.
Yes.
Right?
So okay. My point is, where does the woman come in for the wedding? Which part of the wedding?
So that's what he was saying. The refreshments, decor.
You can talk about
it's
it.
not like he's coming in to come and take the cost of you.
No.
But both of you are sitting down to have a conversation, right? So if that is, say, 70 or 60% of the budget, the 40% being financed,
she can say yes.
I don't see how, men now would complain that, okay, we are bearing the cost of weddings.
What is 40% of 300,000?
40% of 300,000. You put it make my
You understand? Now, even that, you understand. But let me backtrack a little and say something here. It is when I did my ceremony that I realized that having good relations, having good friends, investing in people is fantastic. Because there are people who moved heaven and earth for me that even if they were charging me for it, I couldn't pay. You understand? I couldn't pay. There are people, I say here and I say that a lot of the expenditure, not necessarily financially, a lot of the things that were done for my wedding, if I was paying for it actual price, I won't be able to pay. You know, I have one of my great friends, he's a photographer. He stepped in, he did photography for me. He coordinated every other photographer that was there. And he didn't send me an invoice. I spoke to me, like, Charlie, how much? He said, your wedding is on the house. He told me that. You understand? I had a whole production house coming up to set up. So we had the luxury of looking at the things that the decor person brought. And I said, take this out, my people will do it. Take this out, my people will do it. Take this out, and they pulled up. My cake, I didn't pay for my wedding cake. Do you understand? So if you follow me, you understand.
And you put it on Instagram, people do not know that.
Exactly, you understand. So Nuruddin, I believe you have very great friends that if you decide to tell them you're going to get married.
You pay for my wedding.
Ask him how much has he invested in you.
But this is the point, to invest a lot in your friends. Invest in people. Listen, don't invest in people. It helps, because somebody would say, how people will call you. How can I help you? You understand? Oh, what do you do? Let's say I'm a makeup artist. Can you do my makeup for me? Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Not everybody has money. They bring what they have, they bring their skills, they bring their talent and ability. Before you realize, the things that you have to pay for has reduced greatly, and it's reduced your headache. You understand? And that is me sitting here. That is me, because the caliber of people that came together, I look at them and I look at how much they'll pull for even one small event, and it's scary.
How did you have people pulling up?
Yeah, sure. I had a lot of people. Just like I think if I want to mention, I'll have a very long list.
Yeah.
You see, I have a soft heart for people. Okay. Now I try as much as possible to make everybody around me happy. And in doing that, you are just building like a treasury for yourself in the future.
Yeah.
And so you see, you have people come in, just like he said, I want to do this for you. There are some people you can just talk to them, just take care of my TNT, my equipment, and I'm fine. For my services, don't worry about it. And so I agree with him. When you live a life of affecting others, when you need them, they'll come back.
They'll pull up
and
for
be
you.
there for you.
Yeah, they'll pull up.
Did you decide that, okay, I'm going to do this typical kind of wedding? Because I look back into my life and say, okay, I've made friends here, I've made connections here. I mean, I know this person, I know that person. And it's very possible if I decide that indeed I want to get married and have, that 3-day kind of wedding, you do your engagement on Thursday or Friday, you do the ceremony on Saturday, later in the evening, you have a refreshment, Sunday, you go and thank God, or all of those things. Yeah. Because you know your worth in terms of friendship.
Yeah.
You decide that then I will do something like this. Does that inform?
To an extent, yes. You say no, to an extent, me, yes.
I love that disagreement.
To an extent, yes. I choose to define it as one big gamble where you know that it's going to turn out right. Wow. So you throw yourself in. So like I said, I knew this, I knew that. I mean, when we started having conversations, she was like, okay, so who will do a cake? I know somebody, don't worry about that. She'll do it for free. I remember saying stuff like that. Who will do this? Or I know somebody, don't worry, she'll do it. And she was like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. I think at a certain point in time, she actually thought I was kidding when I was saying some of these things, that I'll do it for free. It was when they actually started doing it and they started showing, they're like, wait, your people are actually pulling up. Yeah, right. You understand? I'll tell you, I got married 3 times to the same person. You guys should give me an award. 3 times. 3 times. We did a church one, of course. We went to sign, went to church. Then we went to my uncle's house. I'll talk about my uncle's house to have like a Sunday lunch, right? Okay. I walk into my uncle's office and I said, I want to come and do. I spoke to him first. I want to come and do lunch. And I was like, fine, no problem. I mean, my house is there. Just come. I'm like, okay, fine. So I walked into his office. He said, come and let's talk about it. So right there. He said, what do you need? I'm like, first off, there's space. Okay, space granted. What else do you need? Who's doing music? Initially, I mentioned something that was even later on cancelled. He said, okay, fine. I'll bring my sound speakers. That's taken care of. Oh, then I need to don't worry, I'll get you a DJ. That's taken care of. Drinks. I know you and your people, you don't like drinking hard stuff. So, and he told me that if I only bring the soft drinks and stuff, he'll stand in his hall and look at us on the compound and he won't come down. So he's going to provide his own liquor and everything for the people that like it. He's going to set up the bar for it. So I said, okay, fine, I'll bring the soft drinks and the water. Then I called him later on and he said, oh, you cry. I didn't think that you were still bringing the soft drinks. So I've bought soft drinks and water for your people already. Oh. So everything else that I went there with was extra. Then I said, okay, you want my uncle's standby? Then I said, okay, so can you, thankfully my mom is a caterer. And I'm like, okay, so can you support with food? Then he's like, food, who's cooking? Your mother is cooking, right? That's his sister. And I'm like, yeah, so how much would it cost? I don't know. How many people are you expecting? About 150. Okay, fine, I'll talk to your mother. And that was it. So I literally showed up at my own lunch with basically nothing.
Just your attire.
Just my beautiful attire. And I went to buy, and my beautiful wife. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. And went to buy, exactly, very essential. Otherwise, I won't go home tonight. and I went to buy just some drinks and water. And we carried the rest of the wedding cake that I got for free there. And my friends came and we had fun.
So the starter pack is have a rich uncle.
Exactly.
Have great friends. Your mother should be a great friend. Yeah, good to go. I mean, somebody will look at the video and say, wow.
I mean, we've seen them.
Follow me. You would die.
But Calvin disagreed,
Yeah, I disagree because, in as much as you have these people, I feel like if you solely depend on them, God forbid.
Yeah.
Two of your core people that you are looking out for, that they are going to be there for me.
Yeah.
Month, 2 months to the time they pass it.
Well, yeah.
So for me, I think you should kind of have everything down. Now, when you get that relief, this is a cool money I can use for this.
Oh, yes.
When you get this relief,
actually,
this is a cool money I can use for this.
I agree. And that me saying yes doesn't mean that it shouldn't have like backup. You understand? Because look, I don't know if my wife would be okay with me sharing this, but I'll say it. She had a godfather who was very supportive, who was like, I met him a couple of times. Yeah.
Like the uncle.
Wait.
Oh my God.
Let me finish before you go looking for godfathers.
Uncle.
Let me finish before you go looking for godfathers. And he's been supportive like almost all her life. Very, very strong pillar in her family and all that. About somewhere in March, we had a wedding in last week, somewhere in October. Somewhere in March, this man passed. So, do you still want a godfather? So in this instance, it's like, and it's not like we are banking on him. You're doing everything you have to do, but you know fully well that if this man pulls up, Charlie, that's some cool beans for you. And he passed. What are you going to do about that? Do you understand? So yes, you have to have faith in the people that you have, but you also need to make provisions and know that, Charlie, you know what? In case this thing casts, Charlie Vim still there.
I think I agree with you now.
Now, listening to you guys, I want to find out, can I have a dream wedding? Like, can I sit down as a man and say that this is the kind of wedding I want to have? In the perspective of, putting in perspective of how my wife would be or my girlfriend now wants to have it. Maybe I don't want to have this lavish wedding. But then this woman says she wants a lavish wedding. Looking at my budget, I don't have that kind of money. In my case, as brothers.
Yeah.
Okay.
What would you advise me?
Negotiate.
With who?
Her. She's not a terrorist. She's your girlfriend.
you know what I want to
Don't say that.
how many years do you have for you to get married? I want to come up with this question first and then I'll follow up.
Let's say 3, 5.
Yes.
Wow.
Don't
No,
consider-
but that time you
don't-
do the
don't-
STI finish.
Don't consider thinking about the dream wedding now.
No.
The reason is that I have a friend who is going to get married in January. Now, somewhere last year, December, he met this lady, and then they started knowing each other, planning of getting married like after 3-4 months. And the lady was like, "Oh, I want to have a very simple wedding. I don't want the church wedding, and it's too some way. I don't have so many friends. I don't like." And eventually, the lady got somewhere last year, July. The lady got a chance to go to US, a job offer, and then the lady got to US. About 2 months ago, we started talking about the wedding, like, because I've been like his guy from day one. We went to the same primary, then SHS.
Best man in the
Then-
making.
You understand? We went to the same university. Like now, the lady is talking about like having a very flashy wedding.
Yeah. She
The
will.
point is, she's going to see like,
No, it's the board of directors.
okay, maybe yes.
Remember,
The,
it's
the point he's
but,
making.
but the point is, there's been a shift in the environment.
right.
Now she's seen something bigger than what she was seeing when she was in Ghana. And so if you discuss that now, trust me, by the time you are planning to get married, it won't work.
There'll be a shift.
Yeah.
There'll be a shift. And then you will feel disappointed because you're like, we discussed this like years back. This is the type of wedding we want to have, and then now you are telling me this. No. So don't even bother yourself. Because ladies are women. Trust
Bro,
me.
but look, there's a reason why I say she's not a terrorist. And look, she knows what she wants, but she knows what you can do. She knows she's not judging you by what you can do now. She's judging you by your potential. And looking at it probably in about 3, 4, 5 years, she knows what you can possibly do. That's why I said negotiate with her. Be real, be open. Let her have all the fancy ideas, but tell her, look, we want to do this, we want to do this. My budget is this. What can we do with this? And trust me, if you go looking in the right places, you see almost all the flashy stuff at very reduced prices. Don't listen to anybody. Don't go look at all the vendors on Instagram and say that, no. Talk to friends and family.
What you just said, the vendors on Instagram. Now you realize that, I mean, again, also from what you said, the industry, wedding industry, like
Yes.
$1 billion industry,
Yes.
right? People are seeing these things on social media. They are seeing these things at wedding fairs. People
Yes.
are putting together things like that.
Yes.
No, someone 200,000, 300,000 city wedding, and they've just set it up nicely at the conference center or something, and you come and see it. So people keep going there, the expectation,
And it's influencing your mind. Yes.
right? Is it time we clamp down on things like this and say it is affecting the fight?
No.
Like socially, I mean, if these are the kind of pressures men are facing.
Yeah.
Because you go for these fairs, your wife points to this, and you know how women do certain things. They'll not tell you they want it.
Yeah.
Oh, Charlie, this bag is nice. You know, make
Yeah,
some
Phil.
drops on hands, light one.
Effort.
Letting you know that, Charlie, this is what I want. But I won't
Exactly.
tell you.
Yeah.
These are the pressures that men are facing. Is that our time? Just
So,
these things are weird.
once again, using myself as an example, my sister sews. I've seen my sister pull gowns for people that blows minds.
I beg, space your family inside.
every
No. That boy will get.
Yeah.
Sure.
So when it came to that, I called my sister. Yes, she charged. All right.
Of course.
But because no, when I say she charged, clearly the basic
It's
minimum.
just- it's
I mean, she was
material.
coming through
Yeah,
for
yeah.
her brother and for her sister-in-law.
Yeah.
But clearly, even if she's charging you for a gown that she's made, it won't be up to something that you go and see at FL or something like that. And believe me, if you see the pictures from our traditional wedding, someone look at it and said, "This thing is if a certain brand was sewing this." They'll charge you. You understand? So there's someone somewhere who can do almost the same thing or more for you at a less price. Look within your friends and you find them.
I have to start inspecting my friends.
So the problem is if you don't have such friends, then check yourself.
You know, I don't. We make this sound more like it's the women who are looking for the pomp and the pageantry. Like we always say, the wedding is for the woman. I do believe there are women who do not want that.
Oh yes, I know. Yeah. I know a few.
They do not want that.
I know a few.
And they'll make sure they enforce that happening.
Yeah.
I told you I got married 3 times.
3 times.
This story I don't want to go there. But we signed at the municipal.
Yeah.
One friend of mine who was there saw it. Lady, she was like, and trust me, that thing costs less than 1,000 Ghana cedis. You can get married for less than 1,000 cedis in Ghana.
Just for signing.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
It is a recognized.
Yeah.
It's less than.
Basically, that's all you need.
No, that's what you need. You don't want to invite anybody. Don't push it.
Oh, no. I'm saying that the requirements of a marriage.
Yes.
Your family sits together.
Yes.
Legit. See, the list, it is the family deciding that I want to give you these items to bring to me and come and introduce yourself.
Yeah.
So if my family is maybe a very liberal one, okay, and they decide that the lady's family, I mean, and they decide that okay, for tradition and culture purposes, you bring this, bring that. We cannot take it out. All the extras, forget about it.
Yeah.
When you bring this, we know you. We are cool.
Mm-hmm.
When you're done, go and sign.
Look, shout out to my father-in-law. He gave me a list and said, look inside. If there's something you feel is not supposed to be inside, come and tell me I'll remove it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Me, I just want to be in your shoes.
No, you don't want my father-in-law to, do you?
I think some fathers are actually.
Yeah. I mean,
my father-in-law too was just the same. He was like, "Oh, you guys are very young and you want to get married. I
So
love
why
it."
did he present that list? If you
No,
know
it's customary.
Finally, I just want us to wrap up with this. Can we start reevaluating our priorities? You know, as people who want to get married, as people who want to enter, the institution of marriage. Like, we argue that lately it's moved on from what the day is supposed to be about in terms of 2 people coming together to share their union with their friends and family.
Yeah.
So we need to do this. So someone sees this on Instagram and says that we are the ed couple in town.
Yeah.
We need to do this so people will say that, because I'm listening to all of you and
No, you know what?
It feels so good when somebody makes reference to your wedding.
It does. But to what end?
I have 2 questions for both of you just before we wrap up. The first one is, so cost of weddings generally for you, was it worth it? That's the first one. Number 2, how much should I budget for my wedding?
Yes, I think it was worth it. I think it was worth it because, like I said again, my friends pulled up a lot of things. So yes, looking at what I spent and all that, I know. Yeah. It was worth it, and also because of the person I got married to, it was worth it.
Understanding girlfriend for the wedding.
Yeah.
Sure.
Calvin?
I agree with him. It was worth
It's also worth it for you.
Yeah.
Nice.
And surprisingly, sometimes we look at the videos and the pictures and she'll be like, let's get married again.
Wow.
Yeah, let's do it again.
Yeah.
I mean, she said, like, let's go back and do our traditional marriage again. That Thursday, she enjoyed that one. Let's go and do it again.
For me, it was a reception.
So I beg the budget. How about that? I want to start. Make a just pull out calculate.
That one, yeah, I know if you tell you. If nobody's pulling up like to support you and all that, we are looking at a minimum of like 50K.
For me, the budget should also be around a 50, 60K, depending on like what you want to have.
If nobody's putting up for you.
Yeah.
50,
That
60.
is no,
Like-
it's not Instagram.
No,
this is not Instagram. No.
at
This is
all.
very basic.
The basic,
then
like the
then-
basic.
Then I'm getting.
Unless maybe you just want to do like Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Then that one you can be looking at maybe
I
a 30 or 25.
I do my budget, then I did around 17.2
Hey, Christy.
Dollars.
No,
cedis.
Hey,
Hey.
17,000.
So you see with this one,
253 cedis
Oh.
point
something
like 30
pesos.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think with this one, there's nothing like photo shoot for
No, they will
pre-wedding.
cut selfies.
Like
I'm a photographer.
you go
I set the camera timer.
when you get it.
You go use the triggers and
AI will. No. I don't make it
you go use the triggers and
The Instagram one.
but boss, you're looking at over 100K. Oh yeah, that one they are looking at over 100K because they're bringing chandeliers and event grounds and stickers. Bro,
I have a long way to go.
Yes.
No, we can have a
No. But trust me, Nuruddin. You see, when I started, it looked like a big deal till I actually put my head into it.
Yeah.
And I realized that, Charlie, small. Bro, you go feed one.
And it's all about how you plan it.
How
Like,
you guys here?
just
we do
plan
about
it and then you'll be fine.
Oh
You'll
yeah,
be fine.
we go give you Vim rough.
Guys, so
Yeah.
I want the whole production team to do it.
You see, so you see when it
I'm
comes to
helping my
that.
cousin in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Tiger wedding.
Yeah, I mean, photography, videos, multimedia is covered. Literally, think about that. That's a huge cost.
Yeah.
You're making it right there. It's I mean, on all our episodes, we've been learning a lot, but this one has been revealing, especially for me who is switch thinking. I'm still thinking anyways. Maybe I will up there 17K, go some 25. Maybe.
I'll support you with 10K.
Who knows? You understand? So,
So what
Charlie,
I-
on that note, thank you very much for joining us on this episode. We'll see you some other time. This has been Say Less.
Allez dans la cour. S'il vous plaît, allez dans la cour.